Chrissy, girl, I know you was concerned with how you was acting this episode, probably trying to figure out what the heck was going on like the rest of us. But you know what? I figured it out. The batteries, girl. The batteries Kimbella put in your back. Hang it up. Hang it up. The energy is misdirected. The jealousy, the envy, the pettiness. Hang it up. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kim Ray, and you're watching Kim Ray Music TV. Ooh, not TV. Stevie. Kim Ray Music TV, and I'm back with another Love and Hip Hop New York review. As you guys know, I was out last week because of the Christmas holiday. I was out of town, but I'm back loud, live, and in color, like T.S. Madison says. All right, so if you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like this video, and comment what you thought about this week's episode and my opinions down below. All right, so we had a lot to dive into this episode. I'm liking it thus far. I'm liking it, giving me lots of content, lots of things to talk about, real life issues, not just made up storylines, even though I do feel like one is very made up, okay? But anyway, we pick up where we left off last week. And, oh, I don't want you guys to think I didn't watch it last week. Definitely watched it. Definitely wrote out my notes and then was just like, nah, it's too far gone to do a review. It's just too far gone. Okay, you don't have that much of a following yet, so it's just not worth it. Okay, anyway. So, we pick up where we left off, and that is Chrissy super pumped up at Yandy. And so, you know, Yandy's screaming, you know, maybe it's some misplaced anger. I don't understand why you come in here so upset off top. This eyeball. So upset off top. It's just like, can we warm up? Can we get there? You know, it did seem like Chrissy was just upset so fast. And for what? You know, we already know she don't like the girl. She clearly wants to fight her. But with her knocking on 50, as Yandy said, you know, it just wouldn't be appropriate. Maybe Yandy or Chrissy realizes that. And especially because she has like things riding on her name now, right? But they're going back and forth. And we're talking about these energies that they're giving. And we're talking about, you know, working with big business, right? And so that becomes a thing. And we see that Chrissy has a problem with it so much that she didn't want him to post a picture of them too, because Yandy's clearly working with him, right? This unfolds later on, but we're going to get into it now. Okay, so the whole thing with Yandy and Chrissy, it seems to me that at first maybe Yandy was inappropriate with her relationship with Jim, okay? Maybe she felt like Chrissy felt like she was overstepping, okay? You're concerned about more than what a manager should be concerned about. And, you know, just like any other woman, honestly, or any other man, when your significant other, wife, husband, spouse, whoever is working with someone of the opposite sex or someone who is attractive or someone who's along the same lines, you know, what am I trying to say? Someone of the opposite sex, or if you're in a same-sex relationship, someone of the same sex, you know, you may have some concerns as to, okay, she or he is overstepping. So either you set the record straight, or you're like Chrissy and you just come disrespectful and entitled, because she's like, we made you, we put you where you at. You know, all that energy right there, it just already to me just kind of feels like you coming with the wrong energy. A lot of people don't like Yandy, haven't really figured out why, but even aside from that, it's like, how are you going to get cool with the woman who comes at you like that? You know, like Yandy's clearly worked for the things that she has, and whether or not you feel like your man made her, how would you react if she said that to you? And I'm sure Yandy said some off-color things to her. But, you know, we finally get this sit down that's long overdue, that I felt like if Chrissy was coming from a genuine place, then she would have had this sit down the same way she did with Kimbella off tops, okay? So we get this sit down between them, and Yandy's already coming charged up because she's heard from her friend that Chrissy didn't even want her working with this big business dude, right? The guy that she's in flipping houses with, right? With Lady Millionaires Club, okay? And so Chrissy didn't even want them pictured. She told him to take the picture down. And Yandy's like, you know, where is all this hate coming from? One thing I appreciated about Yandy is during the sit down, she tried to kind of ease her way. You know, we've had this long withstanding thing going on, and you know, I'm so glad we're able to sit down and talk. But you know, Chrissy's just like, you know, I looked up. I was looking through the books. And I was looking for your name, and I did not see nowhere where you was working with big business. So then Yandy's, you know, of course, is like taken off guard. Like, okay, I thought we was here to like bury the hatchet and like try to get some things straight. But okay, so no, my name wasn't on it. My company name was on it. So it's like, Chrissy, like you really kind of showing your true colors here. And making us feel like, are you insecure, or do you feel threatened by Yandy? Did you want to come and maybe come back to New York on like your own wave and not in any way be connected to her and be like a boss on your own? Or I don't really know what it is, but it's very nasty. Okay, nice nasty to be like, you know, acting as if she can't work. Not even nice, okay, just nasty to be like she can't work with him because y'all have an issue. One thing we know about Yandy is she chases the bag, okay? So regardless of how she may feel about you, you know, whatever we see in front of this camera, because I know a lot of people say she's sneaky. I just think it's because she has them light colored eyes, and you know, that's a whole part of imagery and a whole part of like things that we associate with other things, right? But anyway, I just don't feel like Chrissy came with the right intentions, nor did she's not doing it the right way. Like, if you're threatened by her, if you feel this type of way about her, you know, she's spoken about having all this pride, and that's for real. Like, she definitely has pride, because if you didn't have all this pride, when you came back, you would have sat down and talked to her. But you spoke to Kimbella because, you know, Kimbella's like the Cynthia, right? Well, not no more, ever since she got with Chill. But, you know, she gonna go whichever way the wind is going, right? So we're gonna see about them too. Let me see if I have anything else on them. I just couldn't figure out all the hate. Like, Chrissy, girl, for you to be close to 50, for you to be gone from the franchise this long, it's like you think you would come in like trying to become an ally, because Yandy has been here since you left. So it's kind of like, why would you come in? But I mean, I guess she's playing her role. They wanted her to come in and tear up some stuff. Okay, so Tahiry and Joe. This is a storyline that I feel like is like a little bit, I can't really tell, because Tahiry always gives me maturity. She always gives me like sound mind. She always gives me like critical thinker. So to think that she would be like trying to flirt with Joe and like not understand like girl code, even though she's not cool with Sin, like, it just doesn't give me like authenticity, right? I just don't feel like she would be really trying to get at Joe. Now, he has had a glow up, but he also like is very fresh off this. I don't know. She just doesn't give me this, right? But anyway, she has on the Queen and Slim boots like everybody seemed to have on TV right now. And she is helping Joe pick out something for the wedding, for Erica and Safari's wedding. And I'm like, how, why? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Someone make it make sense. She's very much the voice of reason this season. I mean, Safari goes to her for advice with Erica, which I thought was weird. Like, Safari has hella sisters and a living mother he could ask. I mean, there's got to be other people that he could ask. So for you to go to Tahiry is just like... And then Erica's going to Tahiry too, right? Like, about the prenup thing. And it just shows to be like a messy situation. Don't ever have nobody all in your relationship like that, where you're all going to that one person, because it's y'all. She might as well be in a relationship with y'all, right? So anyway, Tahiry and Joe, we already see that about to unfold and be a mess, and Erica's at the helm of it. But you know, Jonathan and not Yandy, Juju get Tahiry together later on. Like, you know you're wrong. They're fresh out. We don't even know if they're still broken up. We don't even know if they're gonna stay broken up. They have a very young child, and you know how these things go. They're broken up because of stuff that he did, not because Sin wanted to. So it's kind of like it's still brewing. And she should know that, because she knows Joe, right? So Tahiry had the nerve to say she ain't doing nothing wrong. And I was like, but you're flirting. Like you are flirting. So, I mean, it's not to say that she's not allowed to, because she's single. But, like, let's not act like you just don't know your role and what's going on. Okay, so... We gonna see Sin next episode get her little taste of getting upset, child. I don't want her to get too crazy on this camera because she is a little younger, and you know, it don't take much to take her there. But so yeah, I mean, comment down below what y'all think about Tahiry and Joe. Do y'all want them back together? Do you think it's a little forced? What do you think about her being the voice of reason? Safari going to her, you know, but like so much, like for what? I mean, this brings about a conversation about male best friends, you know, when you're straight, right, and you're the female, or female best friends if you're the guy, or you know, if you're in a gay relationship and then you have a gay best friend. I mean, I don't really think the same rule applies when you're speaking about the gay community. I don't really know. I just know when you have a best friend, or when you have a friend who does not speak to you or does not act the same when your spouse or significant other is around, you would raise an eyebrow too, okay? So when Erica's saying, you know, like when we come around, when we're around Yandy, y'all just stop talking. Like y'all don't be on the same giggly type of stuff y'all be on. So at first I thought it was Yandy making it that way because it's like, you know, she ain't had Mendices, right? He's been locked up, and she probably has all these male best friends, and I cannot stand with the brother and the best friend, y'all. I cannot stand them titles, and I used to use them titles too, and a lot of times it's best friend and then it's husband, okay? Because y'all start to get closer and all this stuff, right? That didn't happen with me, but I'm just saying a lot of women use that title, or a lot of men use that title to kind of put somebody on ice, right? So anyway, Erica is stressed out just like anybody would be about planning a star-studded VH1, and I'm sure they have like the top-notch wedding planner because this is gonna be a production, right? But she's stressed out because this wedding is in 3 weeks. She's pregnant. And she's with Safari. So, I mean, they're very public, and, you know, you just never know if he gonna cheat. So, the Scorpio in me wants to love Erica because she is a Scorpio. And Scorpios are so, like, just, like, genuinely ourselves and authentically just real and just all of the things, right? And so, you know, when she's talking to him sitting there with no makeup on, and she's like, you know, I'm just really stressed out. I'm trying to plan this wedding. And he's talking about how stressed out he is. Child, I could identify because y'all know I planned a wedding. And it was just so funny because it's like, Safari, you ain't did nothing. Okay, your wife's sitting here, your fiance sitting here pregnant. She's over it, okay? So now you got those people that you're kind of in between. Like, are we going to invite them? What are we doing? We need to know. Are we moving? Because Yandy obviously is important to the cast. We can't just not invite her. But if she's going to be coming with what she coming with, what are we doing? Okay? And so this is when Safari says, I decided not to invite her or whatever. But we kind of see this like, Safari is very much like a crowd pleaser, does what the woman wants type of thing. So, regardless, later on we see that he didn't really tell her, like, you not invited, or he didn't really say, like, you know, because of how things are, I feel that you shouldn't come. Like, he didn't really say that. He just was kind of like, do you want to come? Because if you want to come, then you're invited. But if not, like, he kind of left it up to her. And that's not how he presented it to his fiance. So this is the problem that I have. I can't tell if it's with Safari or if it's with Yandy. But somebody in that thing had some feelings somewhere, something, because it's very weird. And so when they have this talk, Yandy, Erica, and Safari at the showcase, Yandy was just like, you know, your sister, and it just didn't seem like flirty to me, right? But Yandy's apparently very good at hiding it or whatever. So I didn't really understand why Safari felt like he had to hide, or why he be feeling like he got to go talk to Yandy without Erica. Maybe it's because of how Yandy felt about Erica, so he felt like there was an issue, like Tahiry was saying when he was asking her for her advice, and I felt like he shouldn't be asking her for her advice. But I just thought it was weird. It's just like, are you making an issue, or is there really an issue? Because Yandy had this little girls' night thing, And I mean, Rich Dollars was there and brought Jenna Ski to Yandy's house, which I thought was weird. Jonathan's there because, you know, who doesn't have a gay male friend, and, you know, he's fun, right? So, he's there, right? And they're all having like margaritas and all this stuff, and they're talking about Safari. And it's like the 3rd or 4th season where we see Sin, Rich, and Yandy in a scene talking about Safari. And it's like, are y'all hating on his happiness? Who doesn't change when they're in a relationship? You would hope that she would change just a little bit, with some growth, with some maturity, with some like critical thinking, with some understanding, with some distancing of maybe people that you associate with a different part of you. Like, it's just natural, right? So, sorry, I keep burping. So, they're over there talking about that Jenna Ski's interested in working with Safari, and they kind of flipped this whole narrative of Erica being controlling and Safari's not the same way that he used to be. And I just was like, no. I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it, because even in that moment when, you know, Safari's standing in between Yandy and Erica finds out that Yandy was in fact invited and has text messages to prove it, and Safari just had this dumbfounded look on his face. Erica says, you cannot do that. I mean, calmly and collectively, okay? She says, you cannot do that. You cannot tell me one thing and tell her another thing. That's an invite. The way that you phrase that is an invite, okay? You cannot do that. And so I'm watching, I'm just like, this is not the Erica we know, because she would have been throwing drinks. She would have been going ham. Like, it's not cool. Maybe she saved it for indoors, as we see kind of, I mean back home, as we see kind of for next week. But she was just kind of letting him know, like, you can't do that. And Safari, no, you can't do that. It's either you're invited, and now I gotta convince my wife why you should be invited, or it's you're not invited because for the betterment of my wife in this relationship, I feel this is inappropriate, or I feel whatever. Obviously, she's gonna be invited because she's a part of the cast. I mean, she might not be invited because it's a storyline now, but I would think that she would be there, okay? So I just thought it was interesting that Yandy, I don't remember Yandy being so close to Safari, but there's a lot that goes on in between. This is not a franchise that I really keep up with. I do follow more of them than I do of any other franchise, I think, but I don't really keep up with their dealings with each other. So, unless it's Juju. And so Juju seems like she would be more like she was last season, I think, about being upset about Safari. So, anyway, Safari has this dilemma with Yandy and Erica. Yandy and Chrissy still, they ain't nobody forgiven. They're still feuding, okay? So I think the last thing we need to talk about is Fresher. So let me just make sure. Oh, and Tahiry and Joe and Sin, that's going to unfold later on. Okay, so Fresher. Fresher's storyline looks very familiar to me, okay? It's giving me very much all these people in the past, y'all. It's giving me very much. Who was that dude just last season? He was kind of darker skinned, had a lighter skin girl, and the artist was Anais, right? I can't remember their names, but this storyline has definitely been presented before. But basically, you got Fresher. He's a family man, been with the same girl since 6th grade. Now I don't know if they've stayed together the entire time, or you know how we like to do, just like carry the one and roll on over. Like, I've known her since 6th grade, we was together in 6th grade, dated around or whatever, so we've been together 20 years or whatever. I always think it's very weird when people are together like since like adolescence or since like 15. It's just like, whoa, did we learn? Like, unless you're able to be with this person and learn yourself as truly yourself, like, it's just interesting to me when people stay together through all the time when you're supposed to be learning yourself and learning what you like and what makes you mad and what makes you sad. And how are you able to do that when you're interlocked and associated with someone from like literally the time you said I'm a teenager? But anyway, I digress. he is with this girl, Jen, the thought slayer, Jen, the groupie slayer. And Jen, the groupie slayer, and him have 2 children. They're trying to get out of the Bronx, I think. They're trying to move, okay? And so Jenoski, or however Jonathan said it, Jenoski. It was all different kind of ways. It reminded me of Walmart, how people say Walmart and Walmart. Like, it's just, anyway. Jenoski is basically their ticket out because she's talented, right? Remember, he's trying to convince her to change her body, and he feels like if she does that, then she'll be on the map, right? But Jenoski shows us, okay, she is at this showcase. She is killing it. She looks good. She's dancing. She got the moves going, right? She's rapping. She's got the crowd. She's got stage presence, all of it. So everybody, entire cast is there, and the entire cast is impressed. But we got a problem because baby mama long-term girlfriend who still ain't been wifed up, which is another dilemma I have, 20-year girlfriend, but you ain't getting wifed up. Why? Okay, so anyway, she comes storming in looking good, okay? I really wanted to know, where did we get the wig, okay? Body snatched, and you know, clearly this is why Fresher feels like she needs to get her body done, because it looks like baby mama has to, which is fine. She looks great, but she comes in and she's already got an issue. I don't understand how you come in upset because this is her showcase and you know you're a man, okay? But you come in pumped up at Jenoski, okay? Let me see if I can back this up a little bit before I get into her acting crazy. You know, she has a problem with Jenoski, but it seems to me that she would have a problem with any female working with her man, because it's something in your man that makes you feel like you cannot trust him around these attractive women, right? Now, I do understand that I say, you know, when your husband or when your man or when your wife or when your spouse or whoever works around people that are attractive all day long, that's a special type of trust that you need to have, okay? It's a special type of security that you need to have in self, okay? A lot of us, most of us, don't have it at 100%. Especially if your man is the type to be touching all and giving all these extra accolades, you know, as Fresher was doing to Jenoski, okay? And so, and you know, to be telling her you looking good and taking her out to dinner, I mean, it's just stuff like that that's just like, it's a little inappropriate. Okay, so after she kills it, you know, and Rich Dollars is there and he got heavy hitters there like Corey Guns. I mean, I know Corey Guns does have a song or 2 or mixtapes of 5. Okay, but I didn't realize he was still making music. So I mean, heavy hitters, I guess, as it pertains to that community, right? That little area. Fresher. Oh, so Fresher's talking to old girl afterwards. You know, they're basically talking about, is she gonna go with Rich Dollars, who seems to be all about business, or Fresher, who's like seems to be just trying to get in her pants, right? And so Jen, the groupie slayer, walks in. And this is when the antics ensue. Jenoski, you're really showing your age when you're just acting a plum fool on the side in front of the people who are potentially trying to sign you. And then, Jen, you just behave so irrationally. I just didn't understand. For the woman who's supposed to like have the man and you guys have this artist and I just feel like it's always like the same type of woman. Do y'all feel like that? Like, I feel like they just kind of just be like, okay, this is the baby mama. All right, this is the look we're going for. Okay, like, I feel like Anais, dude, you know, I feel like his woman or his wife, or I'm sorry, girlfriend of all these years, looked similarly also. But anyway, Jen, I keep wanting to say the thought slayer. Jen, the groupie slayer, is pissed. Okay, she is yelling at the top of her lungs. Okay, them heels, I recognize them heels from JCPenney 2-inch, okay, because since my knee surgeries, I had to take it down a couple inches. I recognize the heels. She all in the heels, okay, and she is upset, okay? So that stuff she rapping about, I'm from that, I am that. Okay, she from the projects. I just was like, I mean, are we proud of this though? Like, highly confused, extremely confused, but highly entertained. Okay, you guys let me know down in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. I'm Cameray. This is Cameray Music TV. Make sure you hit up all the links in the description box, and I'll see you guys next time in the next review. I know we just stopped abruptly, but that was it, child. I'm running out of breath. See y'all next time.